What's up, everybody? This is Mirouku, one half of the Outer Rim CCG group. Today we got an exciting deck tech for you. It's Qui Gon, one of the leaders of the newest set. Um, Before we get started, I want to say thank you all for the support and everything that we've received from you guys, especially our Patreon supporters. If you guys like this kind of content, please like, comment, subscribe down below. Come join us in the Discord. It is free. We'd love to have you. We'd love to play test with you. Have a good time. Follow us on Patreon if you like our content. We have several things to offer. We love to play some games. If you are a Patreon supporter, we have a gauntlet to where we can test our decks against the meta, see how it runs. It has not been updated for the new set yet. As you guys know, huge dump just happened. We're going to have to look through the cards, try to build some great decks, and try to get prepared for Galactics that's coming up. If you guys have any type of TCG needs, we do have a TCG player link down below that's connected to our store. And without further ado, we're going to get started. So we have Qui Gon here, who is one of the dual deck leaders. And I have to say that if he is not the best dual deck leader that we have gotten, he's at least the second best behind Luke Skywalker. He is an absolute beast. He runs very similar to Birthing Pod, if you guys have ever played Magic the Gathering. Birthing Pod was strong enough to where it ended up getting banned because it was just, you sacrifice a unit, search something out of your deck, you go infinite. I don't think we're there yet with Star Wars. I don't know if we ever will be because of the action sequencing that we have through the phase for us to be able to go infinite. There's certainly some combos and synergies that can definitely happen. And the reason why Qui Gon is similar to that is with his ability, you use the Force, you return a friendly non-linear unit to its owner's hand, and play a non-villainous card that costs one less. And it's only from your hand, it's not like you're searching your library, or your deck, as it's called. He is a 4/7 when he flips, and does basically the same thing on the backside. We do have the blue base that is the common base that creates the force token whenever you have a force unit attack. The way we're going to do this is we're going to go ground units, space, events, and upgrades. And then we'll also kind of look at the sideboard, which can fluctuate. I will say that before we get started to the actual meat on the bone here of the deck, I have looked through the current cards that have all been dumped. I didn't see anything that initially struck my eye that needs to go into this deck and cards that need to come out of this deck. I feel like we are pretty much almost set with the cards in this deck. There may be a few fluctuations with the amount of cards, maybe a few tweaks here and there, but for the most part, I see I don't see any reason to change what we have here. We're going to start off with the ground units, and we're going to take off with Caretaker Matron, our heroic Dr. Piercing that has no negative by pinging yourself. Anyone that's played against me, you guys know I love card advantage. Anything that allows me to draw a card, absolutely love. And this card is the only card that is not a force user. But it says that if you played a force card this phase, you can exhaust it, draw a card. So card advantage, I'm all in. You got me sold. The next card is Yaddle. 2/4 Force Jedi Republic. Restore 1. On attack, each other friendly Jedi unit gains Restore. Um, most of the units in the deck are Jedi. I think, with the exception of the Matron, two of the ships, and two other ground units, everything else is a Jedi tag. So you have numerous ways to trigger that. So Yato's going to be very great about damage mitigation and slowing your opponent down, which is exactly what we want to do. Then you have Youngling Padawan. It's a 2/3. When played, you get the Force. So it already sets up your future plays for Qui Gon, especially for the next unit, which is a great unit. I love it. It's Venestra Row. I don't know if I said it right, but I hope I did. 3/4. Basically a Millennium Falcon from the first set. When you play her, use the Force, you ready her. So she also so basically she replaces the Force token you had to use. One of the things I have enjoyed doing is I will play her, ready her, attack with her, use Qui Gon's ability to bounce her and put out one of the smaller units in my hand. That way they're ready next turn. And then, especially if it's like the Padawan or Yaddle, I will attack starting off and then replay her again. And that's if I don't have any other better moves to do. Simply because it protects her and it gives her, multiple uses, kind of like the Millennium Falcon when you bounce it back to hand. The next card is Yoda, classic, 2/4, restore 2, when defeated, draw a card. It's been a staple in blue decks, just like Kanan Jarrus has been, which surprisingly is not in this deck because we have better 4-drops right now. But Yoda's a classic and still doing great. We have Ahsoka Tano from the Jump to Lightspeed. 3/5, when played, opponent discards a card. If it's a unit, exhaust another unit. You may. It's not a you have to. I felt really bad playing against Fuzzball the other night. He's one of our patrons, and he's one of our big supporters, and I'm glad to constantly be able to play test with him, and of course Matt and a few others that come on through the channel. I literally played Ahsoka Tano about 4 times against him, simply because I was using Qui-Gon's ability, or I was using the events to cheat her out early, and I just kept on replaying this. So he wasn't able to get in attacks. He was losing cards while I'm just gaining card advantage. It really sucked for him. And he even made the comment about, I thought you hated hand disruption, because I absolutely do. I hate playing against hand disruption. But it was such a crazy line of play because of using Qui-Gon's ability mixed with some of our events that cheat out units early. It was just really rough for him. But it was hilarious for me. The next one is Chirrut. It's one of our new cards. 3/5, Force unit, of course. Sentinel. When it's attacked, you may use the Force to make your opponent's unit get -2 attack. So again, it's another damage mitigation. It's really, really good with making your opponent slow their game down. And if you're facing an aggressive deck, we already know Restore is terrible for them. We already know Sentinels are rough for them, but then adding the damage mitigation on slowing them down even more, just perfect. Next one, Plo Koon. We all know one of the best uncommons from Twilight. 3/6, ambush, coordinate, raid 3. Great card. Love the ability. I'm glad to have it here, and it fits perfectly in this deck. We have Anakin Skywalker next, and it's probably going to be one of the chase legends of the set. And I know we'll never get the villainous aspect of it, because whenever you play it, if you have a heroic card in your discard pile or a villainous card in your discard pile, you can do -3/-3. If you have both, it triggers both. We will never get the villainous, but we still get a mini Luke effect. The next one is Depabiliba. Super great uncommon for the set. 5/7 Ambush Saboteur. Absolutely a beast. And just great to really take out some of your opponent's threats that's hidden behind Sentinels. I mean, it's great. Then we have probably the best heroic blue finisher that's been put into the game since it was released. Luke Skywalker 6/3 Restore 3. When played, do a -3/-3. Or if one of your units were defeated, it's a -6/-6. Again, one of the best cards that's been put out. The next one is Qui Gon Jinn. It's a 7/5 ambush. When defeated, you may choose a non-leader ground unit and put it on top of its owner's library or deck. That includes your cards and their cards. So if you want to trigger another effect of yours for the next turn, you can set that up. I mean, it's awesome. Alright, so there we have it. That is our ground units for the deck. As you can tell, there is a nice curve throughout the deck for the ground units, to where Qui-Gon's ability of being able to bounce and recur your units is really effective. A lot of your units have entered when played abilities or ambush or something that immediately affects the game state, which is what you want to have when you have a card like this. Next is the space units. There's not too many in the deck. You focus mostly on the ground to try to tempo or kind of control the field a little bit. You have Restored Arc, 170. Another good blue staple that's been in most blue decks since set 1. 2/3, Restore 1. It's a very simple card, very good and effective. The next one is Concord Dawn Interceptors. 1/4 Sentinel gains 2 attack when it's defending. That the card is in here to try to help defend against some of the space aggression that you're going to see. Decks like Vader are going to push this deck's limits when it comes to playing, simply because most of their units, if not all of their units, are going to be in the space, so some of your effectiveness on the ground is going to be hurt a little bit. And the next one, which is a really fun one, is Qui-Gon Jinn's Aether Sprite. One of the new cards. It's a 3/6 on attack. The next when played ability that occurs this phase, you get to use it twice. So like the Ahsoka ability, Anakin, Luke, great targets. The only thing that it will not affect, I don't believe, is the Youngling Padawan, because I think you can only have one Force token at a time, and Venestra. I would have really loved it if you could player use the Force, attack with her, or trigger her twice to untap. That'd be hilarious, but I think that'd be a little too broken. So I understand why it doesn't work like that. But it does affect some of the bigger ones, like I said, like Anakin, Ahsoka, and Luke. So really, really good effect there. The next thing we're going to talk about is the events. You know, what better way to disrupt your opponent's game plan by cheating out really powerful units with really powerful effects early. Um, my favorite of these is actually Sneak Attack. Um, uh, this was one of the cards that I actually played against Fuzzball with the game where I replayed Ahsoka multiple times. One of the things I did is I snuck attacked a Luke Skywalker after he killed a unit. I just went sneak attack, Luke Skywalker. I killed their unit, attacked with Luke, bounced him, played another Ahsoka Tano. Like it felt absolutely disgusting. And yeah, no regrets at all. It was just great fun that game. The next one is, now there are two of them. It is basically another sneak attack, except I don't have to sacrifice a unit at the end. Which, I mean, what more could you ask for when it comes to sneak attack? You get to play your unit for free and then bounce it with Qui Gon. Don't even have to worry about losing the unit. Now there are two of them. Every single card in the deck is a force card. So with the exception of Matron, as long as you have one of the other ground units on the field besides Matron, you're able to cheat out your other units and your other ground units, which is great. Of course, you got the classic takedown. You got to have a little something to try to slow down a really aggressive deck if you have no other answers. I decided on a takedown because it seems to hit the most without it being so cost. So basically, it's cost effective. I would much rather play takedown over Fell the Dragon, where it's very particular, and I don't really want to wait until towards the end of the game to be able to hit the Fell the Dragon. Yes, it's great if I'm playing someone that is playing a lot of heavy units like Crate Dragons and stuff like that. Or Rival's Fall, where I have to wait until turn 6. I like Takedown because it actually hits leaders. It hits a lot of these smaller units that are big threats. And the next thing we have is Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber. It's the upgrades. When played, if the attached unit is Qui-Gon Jinn, you may exhaust any number of units with combined cost 6 or less. It's really good to be able to make your leaders stronger or your other units. Like the unit Qui-Gon. That would be my only complaint about the unit Qui-Gon, is that he's only 5 health. Like, ugh. I mean, I get it. You take a saber to the chest, but do you have to die so quick? Oh, spoiler alert! If anyone hasn't seen Phantom Menace. The next one is probably the powerhouse of all the Jedi lightsabers, which ironically I said the name. It's a 3/3, or +3/+3, and then on attack, if it's a force unit, -2/-2. So, I mean, if you can get that on a Yaddle early on, it is almost as painful as a Gunji getting General's Blade on turn 2. Not as bad, but still pretty good. Like I said, the idea of the deck is to try to curve really well, and I haven't had any problems with the sequencing. I know with some of the decks out there, they have really powerful cards in them. They're really good, but the ability to sequence your cards can be challenging. with this, the way the curve works and the way the Qui Gon's ability works, I have not had that problem yet. And I've faced decks like Sabine, some of the new Obi-Wans. I even played a Kestis earlier today, so it is functioning very well. Um, of course, it does lose, just like any deck will, but it is very effective at doing what it needs to do. Um, the sideboard is not set in stone. I've kind of played around with it. I've put some really powerful cards in there. I've added a little bit of additional removal, and of course to face things like Dark Sabers, Vaders, other pilot decks like Kazuda. I do have Bamboozle. Um, Another tool for us has been Kira, which has a when played ability, so it can trigger with Aether Sprite, and it's a really good card in general. Obi-Wan I have put in here just for decks that are super aggressive against it. Um, I may not need Depa as strongly against some of the more powerful decks, or maybe even Anakin. I haven't come across it yet to where I felt like I needed the Obi-Wan, but it's there just in case. And of course, again, it's not set in stone. Change of Heart is just a really good card. If you're trying to finish off a game, or you really want to mess with them, you can do Change of Heart, bounce it to their hand, and you get a card for free. I have done that. Um, so this is the deck. It's been really fun. If you guys have any suggestions or any different takes on the deck, please reach out. Let me know what you think. Give me your suggestions. Um, Again, thank you guys for supporting us. Thanks for following us. If you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, come join us. We would love to have you. We would love to have more people to play against and meet up with at the Galactics. So I hope you have a good time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you guys later.